What makes you cut different?
Cut different.
Cut different.
To cut different. What makes you
Cut different.
Cut different. Cut different.
Cut different.
cut different? Cut different.
I'm a cut different.
That's what makes me cut different.
I'm just a cut different nigga.
What makes you
Cut differently. Cut different.
That's what made me cut
What
different.
makes you cut different?
Cut different.
Cut different TV, man, you know.
Cut different here, man. It's cool, man. It's a vibe.
What makes you cut different for real? Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Sebastian Ryder, and y'all tapped into another episode of Cut Different TV. And today is real special because I don't know if y'all can tell, but we moved things around a little bit, made a couple additions. So the people that's been tapped in for a while, it's a little change. And speaking of change, we got a different sound, a different energy in the building today. Make sure y'all hit that big red button that says subscribe. But we got Joe Leone in the building.
Yes, sir.
All the way out here from the West Coast.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Happy to be here.
Absolutely, man. It was a pleasure to invite you.
Thank you.
And cause I know you love being invited to shit.
I do. I love an invite.
Yeah, man. Well,
Who doesn't?
What we do on this platform is really, man, we just want to figure out, like, you know, what makes you unique and what makes you separate. I'm not even gonna say the obvious yet. We're gonna get to that later, but let's start from the beginning because, you know, church trained. You feel me? What is that environment like, right? Like,
Yeah.
people hear that all the time, but what was that experience for you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a PK, and my pops was like the worship leader, music pastor. He played keys and organ. My mom sang. Me and all my sisters sang in the choirs. Not all, they weren't all good at it, but a couple of them could.
Right.
And we just keep it going through the years. And I picked up piano young. I picked up guitar on my own. And there's something about learning to sing with conviction and trying to, they call it different versions of invoking a spirit, but like it's at its core is connection and trying to change somebody's feelings or change the atmosphere is the language they'll use, trying to change what the room feels like through sound and through using music to reach out to someone else in a way that words can't. And so I think when you hear people are church trained, and especially singers, the thing that's different about them is that their whole root of association with creating music is to connect. It's communication. It's bringing us together through this moment and through the music.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, other storytellers or singers or whatever it might be, musicians, they're just focused on something else. But that church root is definitely in connection.
Yeah.
To us and something bigger than us all at the same time.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I've heard several times that people say like music is like decorating the time, like how art decorates the space, music decorates the time. And I know when I was a kid and I was in the church every Sunday, like whether or not I wanted to be there, in between the sermon and the musicians come out and the singers come out and everybody stands up. It's like, all right, cool. Let's wake up real quick.
At least we got this. Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And so that's great. And I feel like we've talked to several artists that have been trained in the church and came up in there.
What do
Autumn
they say
is
about
one.
it when you ask that question?
It depends where they are now, right?
Gotcha.
Because some people, that's their start, but if they don't necessarily carry that as their foundation, it's like, well, I'm not really on that. I'm doing drill now. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, but I mean, I'm singing songs about sex, drugs, rock and roll, and I feel the same connection and aspire to create the same connection in a room, and I think I do it. But you don't have to be stuck in that building to connect with somebody else. I mean, Jesus left the building if you want to talk about it.
Right.
He was out in the streets. So it's definitely a root, but I'm not in that space anymore.
Yeah. I feel that.
Secular music for sure.
Nah, I feel
Sinner
it.
songs.
Nah, he said we was talking about discipline earlier and you said discipline.
That's what I'm saying in the song. On this channel, I could tell you the real, but we called it discipline so that I could talk about it on regular radio also. But yeah, it's about hooking up with somebody you're not supposed to. You got bad discipline. You seen that CEO with the girl at the Coldplay concert that went viral? The second I saw that shit, I put my song behind it and I said, every day we're affected by bad discipline.
What do you think it is about the forbidden fruit? I mean, Eve, you know what I'm saying? Eve fell victim to the forbidden fruit. What do you think it is about that?
She's not even a good example. We're way worse today with that energy. I don't know. It's why girls like a bad boy. It's why we're into like the other thing, if you got something good at home and then you're like, yeah, but this shiny thing, I don't know what it is about not supposed to do it that's so appealing. I don't know. It feels like a human nature thing.
Right. It's like psychological.
Yeah,
type shit.
it's bigger than something I could break down for you. I just make songs.
Word. I feel that. And talking about like, you know, wanting something and not necessarily being able to full capacity do it. We were talking earlier and we were talking about the hustle that you had and the balance that you had in your life and, you know, working and construction, was it? And
Yep.
and balancing that life, right? So from that time when you were in the church and you transitioned and you started doing music heavily 2 years ago, like what were those years like, right?
Yeah. Well, the 2 years ago part was that's just when I could I was finally making enough and had enough live gigs to stop also having a day job.
Right.
I've done music my whole life. Like,
Right.
Even the artist side, I've been doing it for over a decade. So I've been like the 3-job guy for my entire 20s up until about 28, 29 is when I was like, okay, I can just pour all my energy into at the very least music. But yeah, it's definitely makes you appreciate things that we get to do on the artist side of the fence. Like we're in the 1%, bro. Making content, making media, making art, whatever you're doing in entertainment. Like if you're making a living off of that, you are so far above where most normal people with a dream like that get to be at.
Right.
So, but you don't appreciate that if you get to do it without ever digging holes in the sun in Los Angeles. You know what I mean?
Or earning it.
That's what I'm saying.
Really?
If shit's handed to you or you just never had to, I don't know, hustle for something else that didn't matter as much as this might matter to you, it's hard to have that appreciation and gratitude. So I'm grateful for my story because now all of this is a dream. This is all.
That's love.
Just fun.
Yeah. If you wake up, what do they say? Like if you wake up and your job is what you love to do, it'll never feel like work.
Right.
Do you feel like it's work sometimes?
Well, yeah. I mean, we started at like, 9 a.m. this morning, and we're going to be out till 4 a.m. tomorrow. This is not even the last stop on today's journey.
Right.
You know, I went on a nationwide tour with some legends, but that tour life is grueling, you know? You're leaving the venue at 2 a.m., pulling up to another city by 9, 10 in the morning, and I'm getting a call from my team like, hey, you got radio in a half an hour over here. I haven't even brushed my teeth or showered. I'm pulling clothes out of a bag and hoping I look good enough for radio. But like all that stuff, it's work, but I love it. So it doesn't feel like how I felt when I'm making, $250 a week to lay cement or frame a house.
I feel that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like the hero's journey.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah. And let's talk about that tour a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Calling all the lovers. You feel me? October nights. You was with Ro. You was with Tamar and vibing with some other legends as well. What was that like sharing that stage in that environment? And, you said the South was showing you a whole bunch of extra love as well.
Yeah, it was cool because I haven't been to a lot of the places in like middle America. Like, and when I say middle, I mean everything to the east of Arizona and everything like to the left of to the west of like maybe Florida and New York. Like I really have been just a coastal traveler in the US for the most part. A couple places in Texas, you know what I mean? But I didn't get to see the heart of the country the way I got to on this tour and like spend time out there. And it was kind of crazy just because those non-major markets is what they'll call them. There's major markets like a Chicago, New York, L.A.
Like B markets or something?
I don't know. Yeah, that's just how they call them. I'm not trying to hate or downplay their value because they were the most valuable places to me.
Right.
When I pulled up in Memphis, it was like I was already famous.
Right.
They were losing their minds when I got on stage, and nobody knew me. You know, I was a last-minute add to the tour. I'm a new name in the game. So it was really cool to just see how much people wanted live music in like Memphis. We were out in Durham. You were saying you're from North Carolina.
Yeah.
Carolinas were amazing. St. Louis was incredible. But like places like that, it was really awesome to see just how much they appreciate good live music.
That's fire, bro.
Super
and you were
fire.
talking about the other side of the stage, which is, you know what I'm saying, doing those things, sacrificing, moving around, not getting much sleep. And I know everybody has tour stories, but is there like a tour story that you want to share about like a moment that you had? Maybe on stage. We could do like a stage story and then we could also do like behind the scene.
A sideline. Yeah. On stage, I think it was a fun moment I was doing. All right, so Tamar Braxton and October London are the whole crew was older than me by a good chunk of years. I'm not gonna air anyone out, but it older than me by enough to where the demo that's coming to this tour and buying tickets is not necessarily the same demo that's mine, which is fine. My whole team, I've been around all types of demographics. Good music is good music, no matter who you're in front of.
Right.
That being said, a song like Discipline, imagine a white dude coming up on stage that nobody knows, singing about his dick to a room full of older black folks. This is not an easy sell.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, right. For sure.
And so something I was able to figure out, I was like, how do I make this song be okay? Because it's coming out while I'm on tour. I have to do it. This is also just what my music sounds like. And that's light work in comparison to a lot of what's happening. You know what I mean? At least I was creative. But like, how do you sell that without people being like, what's happening right now?
Right. How did you sell it?
So towards the end of the song, it kind of just vibes out. And during that moment, I like bent down because the whole song is like about hooking up with someone you're not supposed to. You got bad discipline, right? And I was like, if I pull up with your best friend, I'm sorry. If I pull up with your sister, I'm sorry. But if I pull up with your auntie, yeah. And then just started doing runs and stuff, singing in my falsetto, and I would find the oldest lady I could in the front row. And I would reach out and have a whole moment with her. And then everybody's watching her, and I have this interaction. And then the entire rest of the song, didn't matter what I said that was inappropriate or how it might be received from somebody like me in that space. That moment turned the whole song into a win. So that was a really fun stage tool, and just like, trying to understand demographic and how to market what you're already doing, but in every space.
That's fire.
It worked. It worked every time. But I had to figure that kind of stuff out along these years. And then so an offstage moment, man, so I can't tell you about some of them. The ones that pop out are yeah. What else could I tell you?
You was talking about you was on the mattress or something, and you was 3 inches away from the ceiling.
Yes. So off stage, so I'm having all those moments. I'm watching the whole room laugh and figure out like, oh, this dude's playing with it. He knows what's happening.
Right. He's comfortable.
And also now we're comfortable because it's okay that this is how the interaction's happening. So that's all powerful and fun and creative and artistic. And then you get off stage and then you go shower in like a locker room shower in the back of the venue.
Damn.
Most of these venues are old historic venues. So that plumbing's built in who knows what year. You turn it on and it sounds like ghosts coming at you. Damn. With the pipes and things. But these are iconic venues. So like they're not gonna touch this stuff.
Right. Right.
But that tour bunk was something else. I didn't know I was claustrophobic until I went on tour. Because it's like if a dude stood as close to me as the ceiling was, we're either about to make out or fight. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And that's just what's in front of your face the whole night.
Damn. You can't roll over or nothing.
I'm too big.
Well, at least you laying flat on your back. That's how you're supposed to sleep anyway.
But imagine, I'm 6'3", so I'm laying in this bunk. My feet are flat against the wall.
Oh, that's not it.
And if I'm like this, my arm's flat against the wall ahead of me.
Damn.
You roll over on your shoulder. If I were to do this, I'm touching the roof.
Damn.
So it's like I had to sleep with the little curtain open. Everybody would shut their curtains, but I was just too. Oh man, the first 2 weeks of that, I was just like, oh cool, I'm not gonna sleep for 2 months. This is great.
Well, shit, you made it through.
We figured it out, and like I said, there's immense blessing within all of that, but the work of it is still work.
Right, and the beautiful thing is that you were invited by those legends.
Man,
and speaking of invited,
crazy.
Speaking of invited, before we even, I really want to touch on Over Under.
Yeah.
You feel me? And that being a smash by itself. And then you add the legend. You know what I'm saying? Talk to me about that record foundationally, and then tell me the story of how you got Neo on that record as well.
So I made that song with Sauce. He's my like longtime producer. And the main writer on there his name's Felly. Felly, the voice out of Atlanta. He's just so good at making songs. he could write about everybody better than we can write about ourselves. It's insane. He did good for Usher. He had that new Money Long Glorilla record. He has a bunch of placements.
Right. It's a witty first line in that hook. Like
that's what I brought to him. So
Right.
I picked Sauce's beat. I was like, I like this one. It feels like D'Angelo, but on some synth stuff.
right.
And so I was like, this is new old, just like me. And I had that line, what's the over-under of me getting under you?
Pain.
And I was like, there's a whole song there. I'm coming in to work with this writer. I want to at least like have some. And luckily he asks me questions and we talk and like I can chime in. Some writers like to take over the whole thing and then they'll tell you what you're supposed to be saying or sound like. He did an incredible job of like adjusting to my voice.
Right.
And also as soon as you sing a line like that, a good writer is like, oh, field day. This is a layup.
Right.
So within 30, 40 minutes between the three of us, it was done. And then Sauce has been part of Neo's camp for like the last 15 years probably. I've known Sauce for the last 10. And we were looking for a feature and he was just like, Neo, why are we making this harder than it needs to be? He's right there. He's already met Joe. We've worked together a couple times. And he asked him and he was down.
That's fire.
And now I got freaking Neo on the track. Crazy.
That's pain. That's
Crazy.
pain. That's pain. And the visuals behind that as well. What went into that? What was it like being on set? Like, actually operating in that environment with a legend like that.
Legend. Well, I mean, I definitely wish I did my takes after I saw him perform because I was like, oh, fuck, he's been smooth for too long.
Right.
I wish I saw him do this before I did what I did because now I have new ideas. And like, it's that fast that you learn. When you're on stage, sharing the stage with Tamar, October, and Roe, you learn immediately what you should have done tonight and try it tomorrow. But in a music video setting, is it a lot of production, a lot of moving parts. So I remember being like, damn, I wish I went after him because he murked it. He's just been too smooth for too long.
Word.
He's a pro.
I rock with that, man.
Yeah.
So great experience there.
Amazing.
And then, gosh, man, I feel like we keep teasing them with the album review, but God's favorite or God favorite.
God's favorite, yeah.
Like that's a line that I've been hearing a lot lately. Just
there's
people,
like a merch line that came out with that.
Right.
I didn't start seeing it until I made the song.
Right, and probably because your algorithm, because they be listening. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, scary.
Talk about that, right? Because I feel like you talked earlier in the interview around like going fully into secular and being cool with that, and then you tie those two things together, right, in that record. So tell me a little bit more about that. What inspired that?
God's favorite is a song about, you're talking about a girl. You must be God's favorite. Like you've heard all those cheesy lines of he took his time on you. Did it hurt when you fell from heaven? All that type of stuff. It's that concept, but just, it's the end of the album. And then the album is a storyline of falling in love with somebody.
Right.
So it's like by the end of it, you're just like, damn, you must be God's favorite because this is amazing. You're just too perfect.
That's pain.
Yep.
And then now that you mentioned it, let's get into the album. So Invited, out now. You know what I'm saying? Dropped a little bit earlier in August. But tell me about your perspective, right? Everybody could give their review. They could, Pitchfork or whoever could tell you what what they think it is. But coming from you, what's your perspective?
For me, this is a 90s, 2000s inspired R&B, real R&B, vocals, background harmonies, real instruments, new instruments, samples. Like it's a combination of what somebody who grew up with my type of musical influence, but is producing and creating in a modern space would want to listen to. And I feel like the lane's wide open. There's most R&B has become melodic rap. There's not a lot of just like songs in male R&B specifically.
Right.
There's some killers out there. T.A. Thomas is killing it. Kenyon Dixon out in L.A. We got some guys who are bringing a lot of that older sound back. But the girls have been holding down R&B for us over the years. They're the only ones that kept it alive for the last, I would say, decade probably.
Right.
So that's the goal with this, was to kind of just reinvigorate emotions. We used to have our shirts off in the rain screaming about that girl that left you, and I'm like, now it's just like, pop that pussy in the club if you got it.
Right.
It's all
Facts.
parties, which is space for both, but I don't hear a lot of heartfelt sentiments anymore in male vocal music.
Right.
And so that's one thing that we're definitely trying to bring back. But as far as the rest, I'm just trying to make you feel something.
Right. And it's an interesting play because it's the record is called, or the album is called Invited, and then the first record you're basically telling them don't come to the party if you bring in that bullshit, right?
Yep.
So
You're not invited if you're on that bullshit. And then the very next song is being invited in the type of energy you should bring.
Right.
To get invited.
Right. So how important is energy to you? I mean, in a creative space, but also, you're an R&B singer. You probably got romantic interests and you balancing shit going on. What is energy like? Can you tell immediately if it's going to hit, or you purposely chase something that you might not know works so you can get a record?
So I could get a record. I wish I was that calculated. I just be chasing bullshit on accident.
Right.
Because I'm slow to learn my lesson.
Right.
But no, it's very important, and I do at this point in my life feel like I get a great read out the gate on people. But that's some LA training, because so many people come there with a facade and an idea of who and how they're supposed to be. That sometimes you gotta, when you meet somebody, you're like, you might be cool, you're just doing some weird shit that you think you're supposed to be doing right now. So let me try and break through that false energy and like tap into who you are.
Facts.
But yeah, for the most part, I can pretty much tell within, like a few moments of dealing with somebody whether or not we're gonna be cool.
Word. I fuck with it. And you mentioned that's like the radar, like the LA radar. And everybody says like, yo, LA's super pretentious, LA's that, LA's this. And you were telling me earlier off camera, like, yo, that's only small portions, right?
It's also people not from there. It's the transplant energy. I'm still best friends with everybody I went to elementary and middle school with. Like my personal close community is people I grew up with in Los Angeles, and they're the shit. Everybody I meet that's from LA is a great time. I got people on my team that are all LA natives, and I ride hard for locals, for people from that city. But the transplants definitely give us a bad rap.
What do you feel like is the best part of the experience that you've had? I know being an entertainer in that space and coming up in that is great, because you know the way, you see it right in front of you.
You get exposed to it faster. The tricks and all the BS, you get to see it at a young age. So it's also associated with immaturity to me. You know what I mean? I was selling drugs, doing drugs, all types of crazy shit at 16, 17, chasing that Hollywood dragon.
Right.
So now that I'm grown and next to all those things, it's associated with my young life. So it's not even like appealing to choose, even though it's available. But you think about maybe a 22-year-old that moved from a small town, and they come out here and they see that dragon, and then chasing it in your 20s versus chasing it as a teen. The repercussions, the ramifications, the effects on your life are different in your 20s than they would be when I was out there doing all that type of stuff.
Facts. And I really wanted to ask you, man, like, not everybody is blessed to have a good example of like love and what romance looks like. And folks that make R&B music and can tell that story, I feel like either never had that and had to learn the hard way, and then they're able to write about their experiences and so many people resonate, or they had an amazing experience with that. Like, what do you feel like was your best example, or the thing that you could look at and be like, okay, this is love. This is what I'm striving for.
Yeah. I mean, the faith aspect definitely helps, because when you're talking about an unconditional love from somebody, sacrificing life for you, for strangers,
right,
and for the faults of strangers,
right,
at that, that's a very powerful concept to teach a child, even surrounding the concept of love. But beyond that, my pops and my mom passed, but they were best friends in high school. My dad was like uncle energy to my siblings in her first marriage.
Oh, word.
You know what I mean? Like, so he was around for the upbringing of all my siblings, even though he wasn't dad in that capacity yet. And then, she left that relationship, married my pops, and had me. And like my sisters and brothers' dad would come over with his new wife and like stay with us. So even there's an example of love that's powerful, of like, nah, these kids and this family and what they need is so much more important
than ego.
And we would have a good time. Like, he would call the house on Christmas to say Happy Christmas or whatever to my siblings, and I'd be like, what the fuck? Jerry doesn't want to talk to me? And I'm the second marriage baby. I have no ties to this man, but I don't know better.
Right.
And because of that, he would call me. He started like adding gifts for the whole family. I also watched my parents adopt a child. So like I have an adoptive sister and 3 half siblings. There's all types of love that you got to understand and have in a community like that. And that's my house. So beyond, on a romantic level, my parents were best friends and completely in love. And I'm very grateful that I had that example. It's difficult to find.
Right. And speaking of that too, like, I mean, you're on the road, you're a touring musician, and like, that's a beautiful life to live. It's fun.
Yeah.
But like, what would it take now for somebody to get you to settle down and
I'm down. I don't want to be in these streets. I'm not a typical R&B hoe. Like, don't get me wrong. If I'm single, I do what I want to do, you know? We're adults and we can live life, but no, I want a family. I want that thing that I grew up watching. That's a super powerful experience to me. And one of the coolest things we get to do on this planet is create each other.
Facts.
That's crazy. That's the closest step to God that we could experience, right? Is making each other through a bond with someone else.
Right.
So I want to do that. What could they do? I don't know. You got to be cool with a lot of bullshit. My schedule's crazy. There's bad bitches in every video touching me, doing all types of stuff. Fans assault you anytime they want to. It's like it's a tough sell.
Right.
Like, I get it.
Right.
I get why I haven't found it super easy yet. Also in LA, man, that's one thing about that city that's tough is everybody comes there for the come up. Nobody's there to find a family or love.
Right. It's like New York too.
In metropolises, it's very
So fast.
And that's not why we're here anyways.
Right.
It's a distraction from the thing that brought you to the city in those eyes. So
Facts.
I'm convinced I got to go out of country or maybe somewhere else in the States.
I heard like Eastern Europe. You can do like Eastern Europe or something.
Oh, no, I'm going to Mexico.
Mexico's a vibe too. You know what I'm saying?
Mexico City is going to be one of the hottest cities in the world soon.
Okay.
I promise you.
Pain.
It is have you ever been?
I've been to Mexico, but I've never been to Mexico City.
Where'd you go? Like resorts and stuff?
Nah, I've been to a resort in Mexico, but I went to Playa del Carmen.
Dope.
So like pretty cool vibe. But Mexico City is like a ton of people. It's like high up. It's actually really hot. Mm-hmm. It's like a interesting vibe.
It is way more like modernized and nightlife and just like city culture, but in the middle of this like ancient land is what it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's like Mayan shit. There's like all types of stuff, and it's just like all of a sudden there's a club on top of it, or you're in a bar with the roof open because of that's just what the building was like.
Yeah.
But yeah, the people there are also super forward and young.
Pain and making it happen, entrepreneurial.
Yes.
And so speaking of that, and like, you know, betting on yourself and doing different things, like what is next for you? Like, you know, you had an amazing tour. The project is fire.
Yeah.
You've got the cosign, you know what I'm saying? Whether or not you needed it, but you got the talent, you got everything. It's like, what's next for you?
Keep going for sure. 'Cause this is the most externally successful year as far as optics and like you're saying cosigns and opportunity.
Congratulations.
Like I've been an artist for 11 years. I've been doing music for over 20. And this is the first year where all the headlines look crazy. You know what I mean? Overnight success looks like a decade of nobody knowing of digging holes while you make them songs.
Right.
But it's definitely like I kind of just want to see what I can even accomplish because we've already got farther than I ever thought I would alone. And my team they are above and beyond. So they have amazing things. Some of them I can't talk about yet, but I want to tour this album for sure. ASAP. I want to get back out on the road and share these songs with people now that I have more of a, I guess, understanding. Like I have an understanding of what that is, and they might have more of an understanding of me. I'm less of a brand new face and more like, oh, I think I saw that guy.
Right,
somewhere.
I've seen him somewhere.
Yeah. I want to get out there with that type of a energy behind the tour.
Fire.
Maybe
I'm trying
a little bit bigger of a bunk.
Yeah, I'm trying to be invited to that for sure.
Oh, you are, man. When I'm back in New York, I'm gonna be pulling up on Cut Different.
Yeah. And speaking of Y'all been watching this interview for a minute, so I hope y'all already hit subscribe, drop some likes, man. We got Joe Leone in the building, invited out now. Man, it's Cut Different TV.
That's right.
And I've loved our conversation. I've loved chopping it up with you, and I feel like I've learned a lot of different things about you that might not everybody will know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
for sure.
really, what I care about most though, and why we here is like what makes you cut different, Joe Leone?
You know, a joke I'll always make. You seen The Dark Knight?
I have seen The Dark Knight.
Because I'm from LA and I've been a good enough at music to be working in the scene since I was a teenager, since I was in high school. And I went to public school, but because of where we are, I had a chance to be in that realm of things and, you know, just see how it all worked. I always say I'm Bane. I'm Hollywood's Bane. I was born in the darkness. You all merely adapted to it.
Molded by it.
Molded by
Right. I fuck with that.
So it's that leg up of associating the bullshit and the disease that Hollywood can be with youth and immaturity, and knowing that I don't want to chase that. So it just makes the choice to just do this job and create passionately that much easier without letting the bullshit get in the way.
Pain. I fuck with that, bro.
Hell yeah.
I fuck with that, man. We got Joe Leone in the building, man.
Pain,
Thank you for
not
coming
pain.
through and joining us. You know what I'm saying? And I've
Sure.
appreciated you, you know, sharing some things with us that, you know, and hopefully you got to speak about some things that you don't talk about all the time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Well, look, invited out now. Hell of a project. Over Under featuring Neo.
Yep.
And he's got some other hits on the way, I'm sure. And thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Cut Different TV. I go by the name of Sebastian Ryder.
Joe Leone.
And we outside, man. Appreciate y'all.
Cut.
Pain.
If